Okay, so here's an update on the upcoming Arctic front and cold air coming into the Houston area. So the key messages here, we've got this Arctic front coming in. It's due to arrive into southeast Texas on Thursday, probably clearing the coast late in the afternoon and evening. And as it does so, it'll bring in a lot of wind and very cold air into southeast Texas. We're looking at a period of dangerously low wind chills. There is the concern for hypothermia, burst water pipes, and so on. And also the strong winds could lead to some scattered power outages. This is looking like a long duration freeze. It's not going to get cold and then warm up quickly after that. In fact, we're likely going to remain below freezing from Thursday night into Saturday. And as far as the marine areas, we're looking at strong gale to near even storm force winds over the waters behind the cold front. So looking at rough seas, blowout tides, low water that can impact navigation. So even though there's no snow or ice with this event, nothing significant anyway, we do have a lot of potential impacts. Here's a look at our best forecast for now. And you can see the ranges have tightened up a little bit. What we're looking at here, the numbers on the right are our forecast, and the numbers on the left are sort of a range representing sort of the average and the lower end. So these temperatures could change a little bit, but these are our forecast lows for Thursday night, which looks to be the coldest night of the outbreak. So single digits temperatures up near Crockett. We're looking at the teens elsewhere outside of coastal areas. In Galveston, even Galveston down to the lower 20s. And again, those numbers could shift a little bit up or down even as we get closer to Thursday night. A lot of data here, and you'll have more time to kind of study it. We will send out the slides and a recording of this presentation. What you're looking at here is hourly temperatures from Thursday night through Saturday morning. And you could pick your closest city on the left-hand column there. And bottom line is the same for most, and that is a prolonged period of sub-freezing temperatures starting Thursday afternoon and evening, and then continuing right into Saturday. And we don't warm up a whole lot on Saturday either. And we get up to near freezing up near Crockett and most other locations into the mid-30s. So again, a prolonged period of cold weather. And for much of this, there'll be some high winds as well, and we'll talk about that. Okay, I've gotten a comment about the audio coming in and out. So if anyone else is having that issue, let me know. But here's a look at the duration of sub-freezing temperatures for different cities in the area. We have perhaps 44 hours of below freezing conditions up near Crockett and 36 near Galveston. And this is very important for a number of things such as burst pipes and so on, the threat there, and also for industry in our area. Prolonged periods of sub-freezing conditions can be very impactful for those folks as well. So, very cold weather coming in and then hanging around for a good 2 or 3 days. I mentioned the wind with the cold air coming in, and you could get an idea of how high those wind gusts can be looking at this table, which runs from noon Thursday to 9 a.m. Saturday. And you see those bright colors in orange and red, those kind of highlight the higher wind gusts. So take a look at Galveston there, 9 p.m. 48, midnight and 3 a.m. 51 miles per hour. Really areas downwind of the waters are going to see the highest winds, those gusts up around 50 miles per hour. elsewhere a good 30 to 40 miles per hour. So, when we do get up close to 50, that's when we may start to see some scattered power outages from the wind. So that's something we need to keep in mind as well. And this does contribute as well also to our low wind chills that I'll show next. Here's the forecast wind chill minimum around Friday morning. And you can see down to -10 to -11 up near Crockett, near or below zero as you get really from I-10 on north, and then low single digits even at the coast. So when we start to see these low wind chills, very unusual for this area, we really are concerned about hypothermia. So the high winds, the cold air, it's just going to feel really bitterly cold Thursday night and Friday. Again, a lot of numbers here, something to study when you get the slides and kind of pick your location. But what I'm trying to show here is the long duration of those low wind chills. It's not just a few hours, it's many, many hours. So you see the lowest values there in purple below zero for several inland sites, and then low single digits near the coast. This would be late Thursday night and Friday morning. But again, still low even as we go through the day on Friday and then back into Friday night. We drop back into the low teens and single digits. So prolonged period of cold, whether you measure that by temperature or you take into effect the wind, really a period of prolonged, potentially dangerous cold if folks are out exposed to that. Now, we did show this last year, if you recall, especially with the winter event from early 2021. You do have a way to generate, I think, some useful hourly graphs based on our forecast grids at this website here, and you'll have that in the slides. So I encourage you to go there, click on your city or county, and generate charts like shown here. You've got a lot of tabular data showing max and min temperature, minimum wind chill, wind speed, and you can get hourly graphs of those parameters. So I encourage you to explore this website. Some of you may be familiar with it already, but you can create charts like shown here. The example I have here is for the city of Houston, showing much of what we've been talking about, the big drop in temperatures Thursday afternoon from the upper 50s down to the teens, and similarly the drop in wind chills. So after the call, take some time and explore that for your jurisdiction. Now, putting this cold air into perspective, these low temperatures, if they were to verify 16 degrees, they would be similar to the low temperatures of February 2021. If you look at this table, you can see on February 15th, 2021, we did hit 16 degrees, which is the current forecast. There was one colder night in 2021, February of 13. But prior to that, you have to go back to the 1980s for a similar cold air outbreak. So this is an unusual event. It's not a typical cold front for Southeast Texas. The cold air is extreme, and potentially some records may be broken with this cold air. There are significant marine issues as well. As I showed earlier, we are looking at wind gusts up near storm warning criteria, which is 48 knots. And you can see the tabular data there on the right-hand side from that strong offshore wind behind the front. And that's going to build seas to 9 to 15 feet. We'll also get blowout tides. So all those vessels navigating in and out of the ship channel, you could have some low water conditions. In fact, it would almost likely as we get into late Thursday night and Friday. And you'll see those temperatures drop below freezing even over the Gulf. So it's just going to be a real nasty day over the waters. This is a a model time series of water level that we've looked at in the past for tropical events. And two things to point out: there is actually a near-term possibility of a little bit of minor coastal flooding in the lowest areas. You see that peak there occurring this afternoon as this little coastal low moves past and we have some onshore flow. We could see some high tides up above 3.5 feet above mean lower low water. These levels typically impact just the lowest areas, perhaps on Bolivar. So not that significant, but there is some high water out there this afternoon. And then as you follow that trace out beyond today, you see the normal high and low tides in blue. But watch, the water level just drops like a rock as we get into Thursday night into Friday morning, dropping down right toward that -2 feet relative to mean lower low water, at which level we would issue a low water advisory. So it's not clear exactly how low the waters will go, but it's likely going to be a significant blowout tide event that could impact navigation. Just a quick summary, what we know. We certainly know more than we did late last week. We are expecting that Arctic front to come through Thursday. Sub-freezing temperatures, almost a certainty across all of southeast Texas, and a hard freeze less than 25 degrees likely over most areas, even along the coast. Extended durations below freezing are expected, as we talked about, 36 to 48 hours perhaps. And now is the time to finalize preparations to protect people, pets, plants, and pipes. And we'll talk more about that in a minute. We still have some play in the exact numbers. They could move up or down a little bit, but we think the general message is pretty high confidence now of a significant freeze event heading our way. And then there is a bullet here about wintry precipitation. There's no sign of that right now. It is something we'll keep an eye on, but we're not expecting snow or ice with this system at this time. So what do we do with all this information? We have to consider how to protect those that are exposed to the elements. If we go out ourselves, need to wear multiple layers, cover any exposed skin, especially during those low wind chill periods. Vehicle preparedness, it's good to carry water, blankets, things of that nature in your car. Keep track of the forecast as well. We'll be issuing updates every day. Protect your plants, protect your pipes. Now is the time to insulate those exposed pipes either outside or in your attic to protect against the possibility of water pipe breakage from the extreme cold. You can also disconnect outdoor hoses, turn off water to sprinkler systems and drain those out, etc. And be sure to bring your pets inside. So to sum up, we are looking at a period of extreme cold and low wind chills starting Thursday afternoon and night, with the sub-freezing temperatures continuing for a long duration. If the forecast holds, minimum temperatures would be similar to 2021. Before that, you have to go back to the 1980s for air this cold. So it is unusual. Combination of winds and low temperatures will combine to create dangerously low wind chills. And so there is that danger of hypothermia, burst water pipes, etc. And strong winds, especially downwind of the water, could lead to scattered power outages. So we have to keep that in mind also. Significant marine impacts with strong gale conditions to near storm force. That's also very unusual. I don't think I've seen the level of wind since I've been here in 2008, near storm force for a cold frontal passage. Rough seas, blowout tides, low water will likely impact navigation as we get to Thursday night and Friday. And now is the time to prepare for these issues: people, pipes, pets, and plants. And then a quick word about where we go from here from a briefing point of view. Right now, we're not anticipating doing additional webinars, but updating sending daily updates out by email. The thinking here is the forecast is not likely to change significantly. So we think you can take the information here and from the email briefs and make decisions on those. We won't rule that out, though, of spinning up another webinar if the forecast changes in particular. And so